welcome to you all. And I wonder if I could ask Craig Gross to begin by telling us why he believes there's a problem with pornography.
Yes. One of the things, as Ron and I have debated over 25 times, I always have to go first. And, although Martin asked me, Ron always makes sure I go first. Ron, could you actually tell them why I always have to be the guy that sits on the left and goes first?
Well, the left I can't answer. Going first, I'll answer, since you asked me. Because I'm not on the attack. We're not on the attack. I like what Craig does for a living. I have no problem with that. We have organizations in the porn business, PAW and AIM, that try to get girls out of the biz if they're having problems with it. We try, if he finds girls that don't really belong in the business, have emotional problems, leads them to Christ or the path of righteousness, I have no problem with that. He cares about what he does, and he's sincere. He's not a hypocrite. He has a wife and kids, and I've traveled with him. So I'm not on the attack. How am I going to begin the debate? Here's Craig Gross. Nice guy, cares about kids. I'm gone. Check, please. Where's my limo? Whereas he's on the attack. He comes after my industry. Me and Monique are going to defend it, and I'm going to slam dunk every one of his points.
Okay, well, let's hear.
And I would say at 5'4", Ron, you won't slam dunk anything.
That was funny. Sorry. That was good.
I'm excited to be here tonight. And one of the things that I want to be clear of is that my ministry, XXXchurch.com, and my belief is not to take away your right to see porn. If you like porn, go ahead and watch it. I'm here to help those that are really having a tough time with this stuff, help those that want out of porn. Our website offers free software called X3 Watch that monitors where you go online and sends a report to your mom, your pastor, your wife, your girlfriend, of any site that you look at. Some of you are like, I'd never sign up for that software, and that's fine. But those that want out of looking at porn, it's great accountability. Our website goes to porn shows. That's where I met Ron and where I've seen Monique. At those shows, we hand out Bibles that say Jesus loves porn stars. Because I believe that Jesus loves pastors and porn stars the same. And tonight, although Ron is my opponent on stage, he is a friend. And, I'll take his points. I've heard him before, his arguments. They don't hold up. So I'll share with you 4 quick points on why I believe not only is America addicted to porn, but why this is such a big deal. The first is pornography is not real. It's fantasy, not reality. A lot of you guys that are grown up watching porn, you're seeing these women as ideal. You're going to be disappointed in your future sex life because it won't match up to porn. An internet woman never says no. She doesn't have needs and feelings and emotions. And those of you that have never been involved with a real woman, you're just involved with this internet stuff that looks nothing like a real relationship or real sex. For girls, those of you that are watching this stuff, you see these images as ideal. It gives you unrealistic expectations about sex, about what you should look like, how you should act. And that's what I think is a very scary thing in today's world, as you guys are consuming more porn than any generation before you. I think it's dangerous. Not only do I think that, the Mies Commission, along with the Surgeon General's workshop on pornography, have both agreed that pornography is harmful. You say, well, what's the big deal about fantasy? Well, okay, they've sold you a product that's a lie. They've sold you a product that, you think they love the sex. You think they're hot and heavy getting into this. Most of the gals I've been in the porn industry don't enjoy the sex on camera. A lot of them then don't even enjoy the sex off camera. Ron, I've seen one of his movies, his documentary. It's recommended for all viewing pretty much. But in his documentary, he says himself, when I'm getting hot and heavy on these sex scenes, I fantasize about Vietnam casualties, dead dogs, and grandma. So that should just show you that they've sold you a big, enormous lie. I read this in an article. It says, porn teaches a man that sex means using and penetrating a woman's body however he likes, assuming she'll love it as much as he does. It teaches women that sex means performance, doing whatever pleases him and acting like she loves it, looking good while doing it. Porn isn't real. It's fantasy. The second point that I like to make is that porn is not consenting adults having consenting sex for consenting adults to watch. The average age that someone sees porn is 11. And I know all of you are over the age of 18, but just show of hands, how many of you in this crowd have seen porn before you were 18? Yeah, I mean...
You little perverts.
Yeah, You know, it doesn't even take me asking that. You've grown up. In fact, the adult industry knows this. They say that 20 to 30% of the traffic on porn sites is coming from children under 18. That came from the NRC report 2002, if you think I'm making it up. Also, the London School of Economics report in 2002 says 9 out of 10 kids have seen pornography online. I mean, it's not difficult. You type in the word teen or you type in the word schoolgirls on Google, and you're going to get an obscene amount of porn. And my problem is not just kids viewing porn. In porn, as you all are watching, some of you, you notice this common trend in porn. And Ron's not the norm. He's 54 and still in the business. Most of the people in porn are younger, 18 to 22. And what they're doing with these 18-year-olds especially is making them look like schoolgirls, making them look in braces and pigtails and cheerleading costumes that these are kids. And so not only are kids seeing this, they're portraying kids. I mean, Hustler's most popular line is called Barely Legal. And Barely Legal on the box, it says, from the homeroom to the bedroom, these young cuties are eager to please and try in everything. If you keep going beyond that, it's not just Barely Legal and Hustler. Some other titles I found: Exploited Babysitters, I'm Only 15, Young, Dumb, and Full of Don't Tell Daddy. And you laugh at those titles, but here's what I'm saying. You know porn ends up in the hands of kids, and you know what this industry is doing. If the porn industry, they say, oh, well, we've tried to stop that. The fact of the matter is, if they figured out a way to get porn in every home in America, they could probably figure out a way to avoid some of this. And sure, it's the parents' responsibility. It's not the Washington's, it's not the government's, but hey, they could help us out a little and not do the things that they're doing. The third point that I'd like to make is that pornography is degrading to women. It doesn't empower them. You're going to hear these two, which, trust me, are not the norm in porn. Ron has been in this 29 years. Monique is a contract star for Vivid. Most girls and guys are not in the position that they're in, are not celebrities, are not making millions of dollars. I'll show you a few. And here's what I don't get, though. Just because they're making millions does not mean they're empowered. Just because you're doing these things and making a lot of money. In fact, though, most gals in the industry are paid less than $1,000 for a sex scene. And sure, that's better than working at Starbucks. But you're not empowering them. I mean, you guys are a smart crowd. You tell me if some of these titles sound empowering. These are just titles that are out there that you can see. They're one of the 13,500 films that were made in the last year. 29. Sloppy Seconds. That is whack. One plus one more. Factor 26. That means there's 25 previous volumes. But here, Factor 26, if you pull the box cover, it says, many of these images depict women grimacing or crying. Ron will say, well, you're picking on one side of the industry. That's a small minority of what goes on. And in reality, it's not. I mean, some of the titles that Ron and and Monique have been in. Monique's been in Blondes, Bite My Barely Legal 19, Dirty Girls, I Swear I'm 18, and a movie called Young. I don't get how that's empowering. My wife and I went to the AVN Award show this year. It's the Grammys or the Oscars of porn. We sat as Monique and as other actresses won these awards for best sex scenes, best whatever. My wife and I left going, do you think any of them as children, as they were on the swim team or cheerleading team, or had the different ribbons and the trophies, ever dreamed of winning one of these awards? And I wasn't sold on it. I wasn't convinced by their acceptance speeches that this is really what they wanted to do with their life.
Craig, you have 1 more minute now, so we need to get to your fourth point.
The last thing, and I must say, though, one of Ron's titles, I mean, Ron's done 1,800, so we can't even get that. And I'm telling you that pornography is degrading. The last point, there's no such thing as please watch porn responsibly. They're going to fool you and trick you into thinking that, you know what, you can be done with this. It's just healthy. It's, entertainment. I'll close with this, a letter I got from a student after one of the debates with Ron. And he says this, I'm a student at James Madison. I attended the debate. The one thing I left with, feeling even before that night, is that porn desensitizes you. What you fantasize about during a session and what goes on in the bedroom are two completely separate things. I tried to get my girlfriend to go along with some role play. It was awkward. Every time we had sex, though, I had to close my eyes and pretend there was another situation. And no matter what it was, that brought me to orgasm. Just being with her never worked. I wanted to say thanks for saying something I've been thinking about for months. It shed some light on some of my problems, and it's something I have to work to change. I'd rather reach orgasm with whomever I'm with rather than someone I make up in my imagination. Thank you.
Okay.